Blog Talk Radio.
Hey guys, this is Those Guys with your host, Matt Marrero, along with your other host,
Tristan Walter.
And what are we doing today, Tristan?
Parodies everywhere.
I know.
It's more Star Wars.
It was so interesting. I don't think we've mentioned this in the other podcasts we've done about Star Wars thus far, but because I know we mentioned, we could be doing the sequels, we could be, it's very interesting because we're prequels rather, because we knew that we weren't going to see The Force Awakens yet, right?
Yeah.
So this should be coming out. It's funny. This podcast could actually be coming out after we've already fucking seen and done The Force Awakens. So we'll see what happens there. But the point is that I know one thing: we haven't done the prequels yet, because we sat there. I said to you, prequels or this. And this, by the way, as you can see from the title, it's called Blue Harvest, right? Because that was the original name for Return of the Jedi, before it became Revenge and then Return. So that was the original name of Return of the Jedi, Blue Harvest. So that's why it's the name of the Family Guy episode / special. But of course, it's a parody of Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, right? So you were saying, it might be easier to do this, not like because you can't stomach the prequels, just because, based on time. But what was better, this movie, this special, or Episode 4?
God damn it.
Are you trying to say that this was so much more superior than Episode 4? Is that what you're trying to say, Tristan?
I'm going to hurt you.
So you're saying you disagree with the idea that it's less
Matt,
than
I'm
better?
on the train now.
Awesome. You can get to film some Let's Plays with me while you're here.
Yeah, as I throttle you.
Look, it's on camera, man. It'll be hilarious.
I might be going down, but I'm taking you with me.
As long as it's on camera, that means I can upload it to the internet for money. We're good.
Okay.
So anyway,
we'll get some money out of your death.
Basically, why not? Just he exploited himself in death, the same he did in life. Anyway,
no, I'll just be put away after it all goes down, and it's just like when I get out, I just see it uploaded, and I'm just like, how? How?
He was dead.
How did he do it?
I don't even know. Anyway, so I do think that this was actually a good parody, though.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I think it started off pretty weak, right? The way it started off, I was a fan of some of the jokes, but, I do think that they were, I wasn't a big fan of, the whole, hey, stop talking. It was funny, but it wasn't oh, wow, this is hilarious. This is wonderful. But as the special went on, just, my God, the Elevator Imperial March remix was just hilarious to me.
That was
where they're just
good.
Also the idea of we're in the mall. Oh, what floor are we on?
Yeah.
Because, the Death Star is huge. So, but you even mentioned there were some jokes that caught you off guard, and you were even telling me that there was a really stupid joke that you loved to death. Please.
Well, all right. Yeah. I don't think it was really even a joke. It was just Adam West as Tarkin as he threatens to blow up Alderaan to Lois as Leia. We have chosen your home planet of Alderaan. No! Turns to Stewie, the Darth Vader. She said no. Should we still do it?
Yeah.
I think it was just the small pause and just not in an annoyed tone, just in a kind of yeah, man, of course we're going to do it. Let's do it. Blow it up. Yeah. I don't know why. It was so stupid, and yet I just...
I understand. I think, a lot of that stuff happened to me during this whole, special. One thing I really enjoyed was just, the idea of just C-3PO, right? Please tell me that I don't have to be in this room. You don't have to be in. And I'm sitting there thinking, no, you actually have to be in this room. They told you to stay in the room.
Yeah, and then a few scenes later, you just see the comlink going off with them all dying and being crushed in the garbage compactor. Oh, God, they're dying. What should we do? Oh yeah, that
still
was
have that
right
bag?
just before it. Yeah.
But before you still have that bag.
Right,
I gave
that's
you.
before they got. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
God.
but still, I still enjoyed it because he still ends up saving them somehow.
Yeah. Oh right.
Like,
yeah.
wow,
he tilts his head
that
back
couch.
and it stops it.
Yeah. That couch is really, really good. Who would throw away a couch like this? Because I don't know, like what I think I liked about some of these jokes is they felt real, and by real I mean relatable. Where I've looked at things on the street and I've gone, how could you throw away something like this? I mean, hell, the half-eaten pizza thing was just like, wow, you're the fucking Empire. You're just throwing out a half-eaten pizza. That's
Who
pretty
throws
easy.
out a half-eaten pizza?
Well, it was not even half-eaten. It was half a pizza. Like, literally, like, out of a full pizza pie. It was just like, let's throw half of it.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, you're assholes. And then there was just a couch there, and I'm like, yeah, that's really just relatable to me. The whole being lost in the mall. Yeah. I don't know why. Just something about it made me think, yeah, that sounds about right. Also, I just love the part where it's just, the Han thing, like, how are you doing? And it turns into a full radio show. I mean, as a podcaster, I have to appreciate that somehow.
Yeah.
I have to sit back and go, it was really nice. It was really funny. But yeah, so you like the Robot Chicken specials more, you were telling me. Now, I think Seth Green might agree.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, based on the end of the episode, I think that was really funny. The whole, because I think that was one of the best parts of the entire thing, which is funny enough because it's not actually about the Star Wars section. The funniest part was really, in character having, if anyone doesn't know, the person who voices Chris is Seth Green, the creator of Robot Chicken, and many people on the show, as well as Peter Griffin, voiced over by Seth MacFarlane, the creator of Family Guy. So when this was released 3 months earlier, or it might have been 3 weeks earlier, it was 3 weeks earlier, right? We had the Robot Chicken Star Wars special released.
Yeah.
So it was just really, really funny to see them both, talking about who did it first. Even though what was supposed to happen, actually, what was funny is this special was not supposed to come out, technically. I mean, it's hard to explain. Basically, the idea is, it's funny. Hard to explain, but I'll explain it anyway. Lucas had to just say yes. If Lucas didn't say yes, there was Star Trek, Wrath of Khan, as well as Indiana Jones in the pipeline. If they didn't, if he said no, don't do it. I don't want to do it. If he said that, then they wouldn't have done it. But they got permission from him. Which, by the way, I have to be honest, having all of the correct sound effects and the soundtrack really added to the experience for me.
Yeah, no, that was nice. They definitely went the extra mile for that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure it cost a decent amount of money. And it was a really nice touch, right? Just to be able to see, these scenes, and even though it's an animated parody, just to hear, Yeah. Oh, wow.
John Williams, everybody.
Yeah. I think that was another one I was a huge fan of because it's just, we're really going, we're going to, and then it's just, no, John Williams. Now we're gonna have to have it played by Danny Elfman. And I just sat there and thought, damn it, Danny Elfman made it sound whimsical until fucking he killed him. But yeah, and also another thing too, I love the little touches where it's just, hey, let's have the news reporters report the news on the Death Star as if that's a thing.
Death Star news.
No, it was really interesting and fun. Also, I don't know if you know the politician Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah, but, when they were going after R2.
Yes.
Yeah, the political radio joke. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I chuckled at that too.
Yeah, no, I laughed really fucking hard because, if anyone doesn't know, Rush Limbaugh being very conservative, and he has a radio show. He had, I'm pretty sure he still has it, a radio show at the time that was very much just, let me tell you the problem with America. The problem is these liberals are doing liberal things.
Yeah.
And the problem. So let me tell you, as if in his head he's giving it to you straight, but it's funny. I'm giving it to you straight. You're giving us your opinion the same way I'm giving my opinion when I talk about politics. You know what I mean? There's always a slight bias. You have to try your hardest to get rid of it, but there's always a slight bias. But still, the point is that the intergalactic liberal media. And I thought, damn it. Or the galactic liberal media. And I laughed really hard. And it was talking about Lando Calrissian, too, where my ears perked up. It was like, go fuck yourself. And I thought, wait a minute. Is that to Rush or is that to Lando? I don't know anymore. But anyway, yeah, it was just, it was a lot of fun, I think. I think that, while I'm not saying this was the best special ever, and I do remember the other ones being a bit better, and when we get to those, we'll talk about them. But still, I do think that this special not grew on me, but I warmed up to it, right? Because when you first started off, I don't know, I wasn't, like, the opening crawl was fun, right? But after that, it really was fun to me. But then it was just kind of, lackluster a little bit. And then once we're just, we meet Han, we're in the cantina. Oh, hey, what song do you guys want us to play now? Play the same one again. Okay.
Yeah.
It was great. But I think once they went into was it hyperdrive? No, I can't think of it.
In hyperspace, yeah.
Hyperspace, thank you.
That one really got me. I completely lost it at that one.
Because you forgot about that joke, right?
Oh, yeah, I completely forgot about that joke, and then it's freaking, the Fourth Doctor's opening from Doctor Who, and I just lost
Which is great, because, this obviously that Doctor was around in the 70s, and the original, Star Wars, 1977.
Hyperspace
so it was just really funny.
Weird.
Yeah, no, it's like hyperspace always ends up looking like this, and I was like, God damn it, for fuck's sake. That was something that clearly had to have taken some money to just kind of shell out, to be like, hey, we want the music and the, and the footage.
Right.
But no, it was just really funny, I think, because it was also, I think, a blast in the past to some who grew up with Star Wars and maybe even grew up with Doctor Who as well.
Yeah.
Depending on where you were in the States. Yeah.
I definitely appreciate what they did with the special, and they really, you can tell they had a lot of fun doing it, and they put some effort into making it funny, and putting in references here and there that you probably wouldn't even expect to be in there, with a mix of the usual, Family Guy, humor kind of thing, Yeah. So, yeah. I definitely applaud their effort.
But you don't like it, or you do like it? That's
I did like it, yeah. All
right. One thing I think that I noticed is that, and you'll see it also in future specials as well, it's a strange thing because you mentioned typical Family Guy humor. They do have a lot of, callbacks that if you don't watch Family Guy, right? So you're just going, man, I love Star Wars. Let me watch Family Guy. You might think, oh, man, that's stupid. And I'm not going to argue that it wasn't stupid, whatever you might think was stupid. But there's also a chance that it was a callback that you don't even realize.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean, I've seen some of the episodes, and I pretty much got most of the references to itself. So.
Well, yeah.
It's not like it was bad or anything, but yeah, no, I get what you mean.
Yes. One thing that was, I think, really fun is that we got characters that weren't even from the what I would consider McFarlane universe. Because when you were in the cantina, right, we saw Roger, which is a character from American Dad. We saw the evil monkey in the background, right, in the cantina. But,
all right.
Yeah, the evil monkey was, when they were walking right up to the bar, the evil monkey was in the background, sitting next to a character from Home Movies.
Right, that one I caught.
When Adult Swim first started, right? So it's crazy because I was really young at the time, but I still ended up watching it, while, some of these, Adult Swim shows. Some of them didn't really catch my eye, some did. Home Movies was one of them, just for the strange, crude animation.
Right, yeah.
I enjoyed it, but it was still strange and different to me at the time. So it was so interesting to see him there, because I'm like, wow! Especially because if you don't know, the voice of that character is John H. Benjamin, who's also the voice of Bob from Bob's Burgers, as well as Archer from Archer. So in other words, the main characters of both shows.
Right.
So a lot of people know him now as those characters, but you might not realize back when Adult Swim first started, in its, first few years around 2001, ish, to 2003, Home Movies was a huge thing back then.
Yeah.
You don't really see it much now anymore, even in those 5 a.m. slots, because we usually put some other random stuff like C-Lab or Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, which I really enjoy, by the way. I love Harvey Birdman a lot. probably more than I should. But yeah, no, I need to show you Harvey Birdman if you haven't seen it yet. There's a really good Scooby-Doo episode, and a good Yogi one, and a good Jetsons one, and a good Flintstones one. There's just some good episodes. Anyway, point is that yeah, I really loved seeing something like that in the background. I thought, wow, I was like, hey, it's you. How you doing? It's been a very long time. But yeah, this episode, I mean, it came out a while ago, but I think it's still somewhat relevant because, I mean, they didn't, like they made, they being Family Guy made this special, and then the next two, they did not go back for the prequel.
Gee, you wonder why.
I feel like there has to be a quote from Seth MacFarlane somewhere just saying, the prequels were a joke, so we realized what we were going to do.
Yeah,
what were
they were already too much of a joke themselves. How could we make a parody of it? Go fuck yourself.
Put on, son. But yeah. So, but overall, like, what did you think about the episode? Well, this episode, because it was. I mean, technically, it was a full episode. I mean, I look at it more as a special, but it was technically season 6, episode 1. So, what do you think about it overall? Do you think that it did justice to the for the for Star Wars? Do you think that it took maybe too many liberties, or that it followed the story well enough? Like, because again, you're a huge fan of Star Wars.
Yeah,
so
I mean, I keep in mind that it was for ha-has and that it's a parody. So, I don't know. Like, I thought it was good, and because I saw it when it first came out too, and I thought, oh, this is going to be interesting, and I saw it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know really. Maybe it's just because I thought I don't know. Maybe it was the sketch humor of Robot Chicken, because they even make a joke about it at the end, like, oh, you're just sore because we beat you to the punch.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I don't know, maybe it was just the sketch humor of that got me more. Or maybe it was the fact they were, I don't know, maybe making jokes about the series itself more so than
adhering to the story?
Well, I feel like the Robot Chicken sketch made jokes more about Star Wars itself than making jokes about its own series and, a lot of different other things within it. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But also not adhering to the story, as in they were skit based rather than saying, "Oh, here's the full movie."
Yeah,
and we'll make jokes during the. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
No, I get that. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen the Robot Chicken ones, but I get that. And hey, that's something you can look into in the future as well. But as of right now, I see your point. I personally think that they did a very good job because they somehow managed to make a legalized, abridged version of Star Wars. Now, I know technically it isn't abridged because in theory, when we think of abridged series, it's just like, no, you're abridging. Actually, it would be basically, it would technically have to be the voice actors for Family Guy dubbing over actual Star Wars clips from the movie. But still, I mean, the idea of abridging, just using it as a term of shortening something, they really abridged this movie, but still put in their own jokes and made it flow well enough to be a coherent story.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said before.
That's what I find very interesting.
Yeah, I still appreciate the effort that they went through to make it. I thought it was well done.
Yeah. No, that's what I find interesting as well. It's the idea of it could have just been complete just jokes and yucks and everything, and just you would have said, well, that's it, whatever, we're done. But no, they had a lot of fun stuff there. I mean, I mentioned before the soundtrack that they had, but when I said sound effects, I really meant it. When Cleveland D2, Arthur Cleveland, got hit right by the Sand People.
The Jawas,
the Jawas,
R2D2,
thank you.
Yeah.
Sound effect came on, the wow effect.
Right, yeah.
Also, when the Imperial fleet was coming by, you heard the sound of the jets
Yeah,
from
the
the
Millennium
movie,
Falcon
which,
and then the turbo laser fire. Yeah.
Yeah, which is scary because I don't know if you noticed this. I don't think I mentioned it on our other shows. Whenever the Imperial forces come by in those crafts, it always sounds like a human scream. Like as if they like, used the human scream and like modeled it to put like special effects or whatever on it, reversed it, things like that. Because it sounds like
right,
screams.
the TIE fighters flying past.
Thank you, the TIE fighters. Oh, that joke also killed me. Why do they call them TIE fighters?
Call them TIE fighters.
They're Taiwanese.
Yeah.
Or rather from Thailand. No, that's the thing. That's what they were supposed to be. They're supposed to be from Thailand. And I was like, damn it. That's terrible. Because it's like, why are they called TIE fighters? And they're speaking, and I was like, damn you. That actually made sense. Oh, also the idea of just, it's just, let's talk about the design for this thing. Is it good? I mean, is it, let's talk about it. Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask.
There. Yeah, you hesitated a little bit there. And he was just, there's just a design flaw that the artist insists on. I mean, there's just a hole, an exhaust pipe that if something was shot in there, then you would be, then you would
blow up the station.
The whole thing would blow.
Whoa! That sounds like a pretty sizable defense flaw. What? Can't we just put a board or something over it, or?
Remember the resale value? That was great. What about the resale value? And it was just like, hey, this thing's right near the sun. Oh my God. Also, I love when Han was just talking about parsecs. He's like, isn't parsecs distance, not time? Let's not.
Yeah, let's not get into that. It's funny because I feel like the whole exhaust port joke is something I like that joke in a sense of how everyone points it out. And okay, fair enough. I'll give you that, an exhaust port leading to the destruction of this planet-destroying battle station. Okay, kind of a bit of an oversight and a little, I guess, too perfect, I suppose. Yes.
Oh, of course. Oh, it's definitely too perfect. I we didn't bring it up in the first film, I think, because we were so into a lot of other stuff, and we want to talk about the good rather than just sit there and just complain about it for 20 minutes, because we're also talking about some other stuff that we're complaining about. But yeah, I mean, it's hard because I usually try to accept certain things like that because it's hard for me to, because there are just certain things that in superhero movies you sort of have to accept, which is why is Bruce Wayne so rich? You know what I mean? Like there are certain things that I feel like you have to accept.
Yeah. Although I would like to point out that you don't it's not as much acceptance as I think people pile onto it to say that's just to move the plot along. I mean, if you really think about it, the Empire, I'm pretty sure they even say it at some point, the Empire is not expecting, one-man fighters to go up against a thing that obliterates planets. This thing is designed to destroy planets. They don't expect, they expect a large-scale assault, we've got to throw everything we've got at this thing. And they're very well designed to defend against that. And when you just have the Rebel Alliance coming in with a bunch of snub fighters, they're like, you're kidding me, right? you don't, we have a Death Star. What are you going to do against us?
Yeah, no, it's basically it's still stupidity, right? But it's in character stupidity.
It's blatant overconfidence.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what's supposed to be betrayed by the Empire.
Mhm. Their overconfidence is in fact disturbing. But no,
you butchered that line so badly.
Well, no, but what am I gonna? Because I can't do it in Vader's voice. Just your lack of overconfidence is disturbing. No. Wait a minute. And also, again, it's Vader saying it, so it's like, wait, our own? No, we're not overconfident. We're else.
I find your lack of faith disturbing, but that's not the line I was going for. I was more going for. Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to go for a mix of that with Luke in Return of the Jedi telling the Emperor your overconfidence is your weakness.
Oh, I find your lack of overconfidence your weakness.
Oh,
wait,
God.
what? I don't...
Don't try to trick us with your sorcerer's ways, Lord Vader.
Don't try to trick us with your sorcerer's ways, Han Solo.
Oh, God.
I can shoot a womp rat from 15 parsecs. Was that the actual line? Please don't tell me it was. I was trying to mess it up.
No.
Thank God. Thank God. I was trying to mess it up. Thank you.
I can bullseye womp rats back. I used to bullseye womp rats back home in my T-16, and they're not much bigger than 2 meters wide.
That's what it was. Thank you.
Yeah. You kill animals for fun?
There's
two sons and no women. What else am I supposed to do?
You know, it was two things that were very interesting that I want to point out that this movie actually did bring up that we should at least talk about before we kind of wrap everything up. One thing I want to mention is that, the idea of like, wow, you shoot animals for fun, like that's terrible, right? The idea is like a different time, right? Where back in the day, so you think of George Lucas growing up, in my head, right? Maybe I'm wrong here. The idea of, having a BB gun and shooting a squirrel isn't as horrifying as it sounds today.
Right.
So when this movie was written in 1977, it doesn't, him saying like, oh yeah, I shoot, because basically they're like, in my head anyway, I don't remember how big what he said he shot are, but in my head they're like squirrel replacements, like animals that aren't like, dogs and cats.
I mean, if I saw a squirrel that was 2 meters wide, I'd panic, but...
Fair enough. Still though, the idea of like shooting these things is more just like, oh yeah, country life. But again, back when like when Lucas was growing up, versus today where we live in New York, but I feel like if you said to someone, oh yeah, I was shooting a squirrel with a BB gun, it'd be like, excuse me, like again, like that whole concept, just like that doesn't sound right.
That's not okay.
No. So that's one thing. Two, the idea of like the Magic Johnson videotape.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But when he said, unless you were messing with their girlfriends, and it really hit me like, wow, I know this movie is meant to be more like, fantasy, not really going in depth on this greedy character drama. And I'm not saying I wanted to, but I was very intrigued thinking like, wow, yeah, we never really saw couples at all.
I mean, everyone was pretty preoccupied with not getting blown up, I guess.
No, the rebels were, but I mean, like we have Luke's planet, right? And we have Luke, and his family died. Like the only couple we see is just like dead parents. Well, not parents, but like dead guardians, right? And then everyone else is just like no, I know everyone else is preoccupied, but like usually like I know it might sound like strange to you, but like not in the heat of battle, but like I guess in tragedy, in loss, you can, come together, like not only as a team, but like
I get what you mean, yeah.
So it's so interesting that like it really hit me at that point where it's like, wow, yeah, like what girlfriend? We never see anyone.
I think Han and Leia are probably the only two couples you see in the Star Wars series that don't end up getting either immediately dead or completely and utterly screwed.
And not just that, that's one thing. Two, the idea that, we have, what's it called? I think she's the only woman that we've seen, like with the Rebels. Like I don't remember seeing any other woman with the Rebels in the first three movies.
Oh.
Unless I'm wrong.
I mean, I'm not entirely sure. It's
like
possible, but...
Dude aliens, Princess Leia.
Yeah. I mean, in the Rebellion. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell because everybody's usually dressed up in, like, military attire, so, like, just by facial recognition, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes.
All right, then I'll say this much. The people who fucking had dialogue.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. No. It's just so, it's kind of crazy to think about. It's just like, like the second Leia was just like, I've decided to take on a husband. Yeah, you have. Han Solo. You motherfucker. He killed every woman in the galaxy, and that's literally you.
Oh, God. I mean, yeah. 'Cause I mean, I've read a few of the, expanded universe stories and stuff like that, and there's plenty of, women
of course.
in the Rebel Alliance. Although no, wait, I just thought of someone. I mean, it's only one other person, so it's still kind of a problem, but Mon Mothma, she's one of the leaders of the Alliance, and she speaks in Return of the Jedi.
Oh, okay.
So that's one at least.
I mean, thank you. We got one more. We did it. We found the chosen other one.
But you
are now the princess of the galaxy because Leia has given up her throne, and there's literally no other women.
I mean, you do have her mother Padme in the prequels, but that's different. That's more. Well, no, it's not different. But again, the point is the rebellion.
She had to tag out. She was just like, "Oh, I gotta die now, sweetie. You take over as being a woman. You be a woman now.
You be the token woman." Oh, God.
Oh, Jesus fuck. One day there will come another, and you'll think, "Wow, she gets a line," and then that will be it.
Oh, God.
I'm dying now, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Luke, Obi-Wan, or no.
I guess that's why they really pushed for. Well, no, I mean, because Leia was still a main character. I'm saying in like the new movie coming out, why one of the main characters on screen is also a woman too, but.
Well,
again,
I think
still main character.
Well, no, I mean, the way I look at it is that, even though we're not going to delve into the new movie because we haven't seen it yet.
Exactly.
And there's a chance that when we do, we'll see it, and then this podcast will be out already. So, we'll be out after we see it, so I don't want to, contradict ourselves. What I will say is I'm just a huge fan of just having, different types of people. I mean, it's not fucking simple.
Oh, yeah.
The world doesn't consist. I'm not saying that you're against this, Tristan. I'm saying that in general. The world doesn't just consist of just white men and white women.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's because you look at Luke and Han, and while they are different looking guys, of course, one is supposed to be, looking more like a boy at first, the other one more like a, hey, I'm a ladies' man, right? At the same time, it's just your hair is just a little bit darker than Luke's. And, to me, it just kind of looks like you look very similar, guys. It feels like, I mean, so it's perfectly fine, for me anyway. I see no problem. And we talked about this in our Let's Play as well, where we really sat there and and I think we were, God, what was it? I think we were in a Let's Play what we were doing for Star Wars Battlefront. It was you and I, and one of our characters was African American, and I was saying to you, wow, look, see, no problem with that. Thank you, Battlefront. Because it's because it's just yeah. So it was really, I think that, you're going to see a lot of different types of, because it's a little sad. It's just it's just white people, the movie, right? For some of the Star Wars, but all the aliens look different.
Yeah.
How about we get some different looking people?
No, I think they've definitely expanded on that kind of thing in literature and definitely in games, not even just Battlefront. I've played previous games that have really expanded different types of people in the universe, because it's just
exactly. Well, because think
the
about
movies were made when they were made, so
that's exactly sadly how you look at it. Because I mean, even though it is in a galaxy far, far away and a long, long time ago, still, it's still the idea of some type of advancement with technology and things like that. So you would think that these people would have, these people as in just Earthlings would have gone to the stars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, what is really good with doing that, the idea of, showing different races of people? Doctor Who, at least newer Doctor Who, very good job of just having the Doctor just travel to the future and just been like, hey, look, Japanese, Indian, British. I mean, they're all British accents. And it's, they cast in the UK. But for the most part, they're all British accents. But still, I really, enjoy Doctor Who for doing that. So I'm happy that Star Wars is also doing it as well. And, I mean, even, Star Trek also, I mean, was one, I mean, I know, but why are you bringing that up on this Star Wars podcast? Not from you, but in general. But you know,
No,
Star Trek
there are
was
people
really,
who would say that's heresy, but I don't really mind.
Thank you. But the original Star Trek, I mean, you know, having Captain James Tiberius Kirk kissing Uhura was huge. You know, that had never happened on television at the time.
Right.
So that you know, that too, it's just like you know, the idea of just like at the time that was breaking boundaries, and now, I mean, at least to you and I and to a lot of other people, it's just love. It's just daily life. You know? But anyway, so I think we're actually going to end pretty early today because the special was only 50 minutes long, and it was filled with jokes. You know, so we talked about what we liked about it. We talked about a little bit what we didn't like about it. And, you know, when we do the next one, I mean, we'll see how that goes, too. So is there anything you want to say before I start doing my social media stuff?
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So I was waiting for it, too. I was like, yeah, what you going to do? Because, like, you always have something crazy and awesome to say about Star Wars. And you're like, no, we're good. We're good. Anyway, so we would like to thank you all for listening in, as always. And we also like to, you know, I'd like to mention all the different stuff that we also do, and also the places that you can find some of our older podcasts. So first, talking about our Let's Plays, mentioned it earlier. You can search up Those Guys Play on YouTube or TGP, and you'll be able to see our logo that, you know, in all black it says Those Guys Play, and on it you'll see myself, Tristan, and many of our other hosts that we work with playing a lot of different, you know, a multitude of video games. You see, you know, Satish Ram and I, where we usually do wrestling, WWE, you know, we'll be playing, you know, some wrestling video games on there. He and I have also played Dreaming Mary for our Halloween episode. We also played Halloween Part 2. He and I have also played Whispering Willows for our Black Friday episode. And, you know, we also have our season finale coming up soon. Or depending on when this is released, you've already seen our season finale. Thank you for watching that. It's funny, right? Tristan's like, wait, no. Will we record too far in advance? This is what happens. You know, but again, thank you all, you know, for watching season 1 of, you know, Those Guys Play. Now, as I'm sure you've seen, Tristan and I, right, on Those Guys Play, are continuing Star Wars Battlefront, where you and I started that for Thanksgiving. We did it as a one-off, but now we've branched it out into its own series, where you and I started playing, you know, and eventually we're also going to move on to some of our other hosts that we've had as well, playing on different sides, you know, starting with the Rebel Alliance, moving on to the Empire. But, yeah, so we're going to flip-flop back and forth. I agree. We're going to, even though I'm going to be doing it, we're going to flip-flop back and forth. And, you know, between you and I, as well as me and Anthony St. Andrews. And we're going to see how that works and, you know, how fun that can be. But yeah, so you have our Let's Plays. And also, you and I have also played Hot Wheels, Turbo Racing, and Pets Crazy Monkeys. Also, Luigi's Mansion for Halloween. So those were fun. And we'll be playing a lot more next season when we come back, which should be in February. But anyway, so we also have our podcast on YouTube as well. So if you go to TGOTR or Those Guys on the Radio, you should see our nice little red Those Guys logo, and you'll be able to find a lot of our older podcasts on there, constantly updating them with new ones. So definitely check that out if you want to see some of our podcasts on there. Also, you know, we're collaborating with you know, a podcast called Nerd New York. So you're definitely going to get to see some Nerd New York podcasts there as well. Well, the season finale is, you know, just wrapped up. It is, you know, we are recording it as a visual podcast, so, you know, with the camera on it and everything, so you can see everyone, you know, on the panel. But some of the older ones will be audio, you know, just audio, so you get to see some of those as well. And they'll also be back in February, so that'll be a great thing, too, again, with video podcasts. So you can find that also on our Those Guys on the Radio YouTube page. And we also have merchandise as well, right? A lot of cool merchandise out there, a lot of T-shirts, some high-top shoes, you know, as well as teddy bears, interestingly enough. So you can find all of these through 3 different websites. You can find them through our Cafe Press, which is cafepress.com/TGOTR merchandise. You can also find it through our T-shirts through our Screened account, which is SKREENED.com, and through our Zazzle account, which is Zazzle.com/TGP merch. Actually, I'm sorry, /TGOTR. And also you can find some of our older podcasts through our website, which is thoseguysontheradio.tumblr.com, our Facebook, which is /thoseguysontheradio, our Twitter, which is @thoseguysradio, and our Instagram, which is /thoseguysontheradio. You can also find us on iTunes by looking up Those Guys or Those Guys on the Radio, and you should be able to see, all of our stories from there, all of our podcasts from there. 200 plus shows. I mean, we've done wrestling shows. Chris and I have done Dragon Ball Z shows, Dragon Ball shows, Dragon Ball Super shows, even that we should be starting up again soon, or maybe we already have started up, depending on when you're watching this. So a lot of fun stuff, and So again, we thank you all for listening in. Clarification: our Zazzle account is zazzle.com/thoseguysontheradio. So many different stores, so many different names, but either way, we thank you all for listening in. So, anything you want to say? Any last words before we end the feed? Cut the transition.
Robo Lines forever.
Okay, Robo Lines forever. May the force be with you. Say goodnight, Tristan.